Introduction. Living in a neighborhood means sharing your space and your life with others. Being a good and caring neighbor can make all the difference in creating a harmonious and enjoyable living environment. Whether you have just moved in or have been in your neighborhood for years, it's essential to know how your actions and behaviors affect those around you. By practicing some basic guidelines in this book, you can contribute to a positive and supportive community that benefits everyone. In this book, I've explored some fundamental principles of being a good neighbor. These include respect for boundaries, effective communication, community involvement, acts of kindness, and safety awareness. Following these guidelines can foster a stronger sense of community, build stronger relationships with your neighbors, and create a more pleasant and enjoyable living environment for everyone. A good neighbor is essential for fostering a good community, creating a harmonious living environment, and enhancing diversity and community cohesion, especially in a multi-sociocultural setting. Friendly neighbors can provide support, comfort, and safety in times of need, and can help strengthen the social fabric of a neighborhood. We all know the saying, "Good fences make good neighbors," but what makes a genuinely great neighbor? Is it just having a tall fence, or a friendly wave when we pass each other by? Or is there more to being a good neighbor than meets the eye? In this book, I've put down some guidelines that, in my candid opinion, foster communal harmony, peaceful coexistence, and good communal relationships with those around you. Whether you're a long-time resident of your neighborhood or a newcomer, the tips and strategies in this book can help you build stronger connections with your neighbors and create a more welcoming and supportive community. So let's dive in and explore the art of good and caring for one another together. Preface. Think back to a time when you had a great neighbor. Perhaps they looked after your house while you were away, shared their garden produce with you, or offered a friendly chat over the fence. How did that relationship make you feel? It made you feel more connected to your community and supported in your daily life. On the other hand, we've all had experiences with difficult or unpleasant neighbors. Maybe they played loud music late at night, let their dog roam off leash, or refused to acknowledge your efforts at building rapport. These situations can leave us feeling frustrated, isolated, and resentful. As a lifelong neighbor and passionate community member, I've experienced the joys and challenges of neighboring. I've seen firsthand how small gestures of kindness and generosity transform a neighborhood into a thriving, caring community. And I've also witnessed how a lack of communication or understanding can lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. In Chapter 8 of the book, I've offered advice on how to set up your community group and be directly involved in the welfare and socio-economic growth of yourself and your neighborhood, in case you're desirous of a commonwealth of your community. I described how faith groups can promote community peace and harmony in Chapter 10. Chapter 11 attempts to answer some likely questions that you have for clarity. My goal in this book is to help you become a great neighbor by sharing practical tips, inspiring stories, and tried-and-true strategies for building positive relationships with your neighbors. Whether you want to improve an existing relationship, resolve a conflict, or connect with people across the fence, this book is for you. So let's start our journey towards a better community and create more robust, vibrant communities along the way. Why the book? I write the book to emphasize the importance of being a good and caring neighbor, and to promote practical tips and examples of ways to foster positive relationships with fellow neighbors and contribute to the well-being of society. However, a book on how to be a great neighbor can be valuable for people who want to make their community a better place to live in. It could also serve as a guideline for those who have just moved into a new neighborhood and want to establish a positive relationship with their neighbors. Additionally, it can be an excellent resource for people who already live in an area but need practical tips on improving their relationships with their neighbors. I write the book to emphasize the importance of being a good and caring neighbor, and to provide practical tips and examples of ways to foster positive relationships with neighbors and contribute your quota to the development and growth of your community. Furthermore, the book recognizes that in today's fast-paced world, many people feel disconnected from their neighbors and community and need help knowing where to begin when building relationships with those around them. By highlighting the benefits of being an engaged and caring neighbor and providing practical guidance on how to do so, the book aims to inspire readers to take action and strengthen their ties with those around them. It also seeks to promote a sense of community pride and well-being as neighbors work together to create a safe, clean and welcoming neighborhood environment irrespective of color, race, creed or political affiliation. Ultimately, the book is to contribute to the greater good by fostering positive relationships and building stronger communities, one neighborhood at a time. The book, How to Be a Good and Caring Neighbor, Adopting Cultural Diversity for Community Cohesion, is for anyone who believes in peaceful coexistence and would like to have a better understanding of the different cultural heritage that are adaptable to socio-economic, political and spiritual developments. Chapter 1. How to Be a Great Neighbor. Introduction to Being a Great Neighbor. In Chapter 1, I've defined who a good neighbor is, why it's essential to be a good neighbor, some of the challenges you could face when trying to be a good neighbor, and how to overcome them. Who is a good neighbor? A good neighbor is respectful, considerate, and supportive of those around. He is ready to assist and bend backwards to help their neighbors. A good neighbor also respects boundaries and communicates effectively, helping to build a positive and supportive community. The importance of having a good neighbor. A good neighbor is significant for several reasons. Firstly, a good neighbor helps create a sense of community, good mental health and well-being. Secondly, a good neighbor can help keep the neighborhood safe and secure by looking out for one another and reporting suspicious activity. Lastly, a good neighbor makes everyday life easier by offering help with pet sitting, grocery shopping, or house-sitting tasks. Benefits of having a good neighbor. There are several benefits to having a good neighbor. Firstly, a good neighbor provides security and comfort, especially during times of need or crisis. He offers emotional support and helps reduce isolation or loneliness. Additionally, having a good neighbor can make everyday life easier by providing mutual support and assistance. Finally, a good neighbor helps in building a sense of community belonging. Advantages of being a good neighbor. Being a good neighbor has several advantages. Firstly, it can help build strong relationships with those around you, leading to a greater sense of community and belonging. Furthermore, being a good neighbor can help create a safer and more secure neighborhood by encouraging others to look out for one another. A good neighbor reports suspicious activity. Moreover, being a good neighbor can improve mental health and well-being by reducing isolation and loneliness and providing a sense of purpose and connection to others. Lastly, good neighborliness is essential for creating a positive and supportive community. By practicing respect, effective communication, community involvement, and acts of kindness, we can build strong relationships with our neighbors and create a sense of belonging that benefits us all. Moreover, good neighbors are essential for creating a positive and supportive community. By practicing respect, effective communication, community involvement, and acts of kindness, we can build strong relationships with our neighbors and create a sense of belonging that benefits us all. Qualities of a good neighbor. Several factors make a good neighbor. Below are some of the most important ones. A. Respectful. In a good neighborhood, there is respect for one another and for others' properties. They don't invade their neighbor's space or cause unnecessary disturbances. B. Considerate. A good neighbor is considerate of others' needs and feelings. He takes time to get to know their neighbors and offers help when needed. C. Trustworthy. A good neighbor is known for keeping promises and can be trusted to respect others' confidentiality. D. Communicative. Good neighbor communicates effectively with those around them. He listens actively and is willing to be open-minded and respectfully resolves issues. E. Community-minded. A good neighbor is involved in their community and cares about the well-being of others. He actively participates in local events and is willing to help when needed. F. Kind. A good neighbor is kind and compassionate, treating others with empathy and understanding. He's willing to go out of his way to help others and show kindness in small ways, such as offering a friendly smile or greeting. Responsible. A good neighbor takes responsibility for his actions and does his part to maintain a safe and healthy environment. He's mindful of the consequences of his behavior on others and takes steps to minimize any adverse effects. Overall, a good neighbor demonstrates respect, consideration, trustworthiness, communication, community-mindedness, kindness, and responsibility in their interactions with those around them. In conclusion, good neighbors are essential for creating a positive and supportive community. By practicing respect, effective communication, community involvement, and acts of kindness, we can build strong relationships with our neighbors and create a sense of belonging that benefits us all. Effective communication. Effective communication is very crucial in being a good and caring neighbor. Below are some tips on communication skills. A. The role of communication in building healthy relationships. Active listening. Empathy versus sympathy. How to communicate effectively with your neighbors. B. Respect for boundaries is an essential aspect of being a good neighbor. It involves knowing and honoring your neighbor's right to privacy and personal space. C. Avoid looking into your neighbor's windows or eavesdropping on their conversations. D. Keep noise levels down, especially during late hours. If you're planning a loud activity such as a party or home renovation project, consider letting your neighbors know so they can plan accordingly. E. Please avoid using your neighbor's property without their permission. It includes parking on their lawn or using their tools or belongings without first asking. The different types of communication. A. Nonverbal, verbal, and written, and their importance in building relationships. B. The power of active listening. C. Listening to your neighbor's concerns and feelings can help you understand their perspective. Communication skills. Communication is a two-way street, and it's essential to know how to express yourself clearly and concisely to avoid misunderstandings. Tools to improve communication. For example, it could include tips for breaking down communication barriers, such as practicing reflection, asking open-ended questions, and expressing empathy. Common communication barriers. Some common communication barriers that can affect neighbor-to-neighbor communication are cultural differences, personality clashes, and language barriers. Relationship-building activities. Sharing meals or volunteering could strengthen neighborly bonds and improve communication. The importance of establishing open communication channels. Good communication requires setting up clear channels for communication that neighbors can trust and rely on. By following the guidelines in the book, you can become a valued and respected member of your neighborhood and contribute to a happier, healthier, and more harmonious community. Chapter 2. Understanding your neighbors. To have a better understanding of your neighbor, you must do the following. A. Establishing confidence and trust. The importance of trust in neighborly relationships. Openness and transparency. Dependability and reliability, keeping your promises. B. Kindness. The several ways neighbors can show kindness to each other. Simple gestures, such as exchanging friendly greetings, helping, and sharing a smile, can make a big difference. C. Power of kind words and actions. Kindness can positively affect both the giver and the receiver, promoting greater happiness, well-being, and a sense of belonging. D. The importance of considering others. Awareness of our neighbours' needs, situations, and circumstances can help us be more empathetic and compassionate. E. The benefits of being a good neighbour. Being kind and considerate can foster stronger relationships, create a sense of belonging, and help build a strong and resilient community. F. The role of cultural understanding and sensitivity. Knowing and respecting differences in cultural customs, traditions, and values can help cultivate a sense of belonging and inclusivity. G. How fostering kindness requires intentional effort and practice. Seizing the opportunities to show kindness, celebrating diversity and differences, and promoting respect can all help. H. Making kindness a habit. Being kind and considerate can become a habit, but it takes time and effort. An easy way to begin is by setting aside a few minutes each day to think about how you can show kindness to your neighbours. I. Communication. Good communication is critical to being a good neighbour. Effective communication involves being open, honest, and respectful. What is community involvement? It includes the following deliberate attitudes. A. Offering help when needed. B. Sharing resources. C. Checking in on neighbours. D. Please introduce yourself to your neighbours and get to know them. E. Please share your information and ask them about their interests and hobbies. F. If you have a concern or issue, approach your neighbour calmly and respectfully to express yourself. G. Avoid being confrontational or accusatory. Find a common ground when discussing shared concerns or issues. Look for solutions that benefit everyone. Being involved in your community is another essential aspect of being a good neighbour. A. Community involvement can help you connect with your neighbours and create a sense of belonging. Some ways to get involved in your community include: B. Being a part of the community and actively involved in it can help you create positive relationships with your neighbours. The chapter will discuss ways to get involved in the community, such as attending events and volunteering in your neighbourhood. C. Participate in neighbourhood events and activities like block parties or community clean-up events. D. Volunteer your time and resources to help with community projects, such as maintaining a community garden or organising a fundraiser. E. Please encourage others to get involved by sharing information about events and activities and inviting them to participate. F. Respect for privacy. G. Respect for property. H. Respect for noise level. I. Good communication is critical to being a good neighbour. So take the initiative to introduce yourself and get to know your neighbours. J. Discuss shared concerns and issues openly and honestly, and work together to find solutions that benefit everyone. K. Address conflicts calmly and respectfully, and seek mediation or outside help. L. Small acts of kindness can make a big difference in building goodwill with your neighbours. M. Showing compassion and generosity can help create a sense of community and mutual support. Ways to show acts of kindness include offering help with grocery shopping, pet sitting, or house sitting. N. Share resources with your neighbours, such as tools, gardening equipment, or books. O. Check in on your neighbours, especially those who may be elderly or vulnerable, to ensure they are safe and well. By practicing respect for boundaries, effective communication, community involvement, and acts of kindness, you can be a good neighbour and help create a more supportive and enjoyable living environment for everyone. Getting to know your neighbours. Goodness requires taking the time to understand and get to know the people around you. When we try to connect with our neighbours, we can build relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and support. This chapter will explore the benefits of getting to know your neighbours, different approaches to building relationships, and respecting diversity among neighbors. A. The benefits of getting to know your neighbors. Getting to know your neighbors has many benefits, including A. Increased safety and security. When we know our neighbors, we can keep an eye out for each other and report any suspicious activity or emergencies. B. Increased sense of community. When we feel connected to the people around us, we're more likely to participate in neighborhood events and activities, strengthening the sense of community and belonging. C. Access to support. In times of need, we can turn to our neighbors for help with childcare, pet care, or home repairs. D. Increased well-being. Studies have shown that people who have strong social connections with their neighbors have better mental and physical health outcomes. B. Approaches to building relationships with your neighbors. There are many different approaches to building relationships with your neighbors, including A. Introducing yourself. When you first move into a new neighborhood, take the time to introduce yourself to your neighbors. A friendly smile and a wave can go a long way in making an excellent first impression. B. Attending neighborhood events. Many neighborhoods have block parties, community barbecues, or holiday celebrations. Attend these events to meet your neighbors and get to know them better. C. Offering help. If you notice that a neighbor could help with a task, offer to lend a hand. It could be something as simple as carrying in their groceries or helping to do some shopping. D. Joining neighborhood groups of volunteers. Many neighborhoods have groups such as neighborhood watch programs or community gardens. Joining these groups can provide opportunities to connect with neighbors and work together towards a common goal. C. Importance of respecting diversity among neighbors. It's important to remember that our neighbors come from different backgrounds, cultures, and lifestyles. As such, it's essential to respect and celebrate the diversity of our neighbors. B. Below are some ways to do that. A. Learn about different cultures. Take the time to learn about the different cultures represented in your neighborhood. Attend cultural events, try new foods, and ask questions respectfully to learn about the customs and traditions of your neighbors. B. Celebrate differences. Rather than focusing on what makes us different, celebrate those differences. Organize neighborhood events that showcase different cultures, or invite your neighbors to share their favorite cultural dishes or traditions. C. Respect boundaries. It's essential to respect the boundaries and privacy of our neighbors, especially if they have different customs or beliefs. Avoid making general assumptions or judgments based on stereotypes, and ask if you're unsure how to proceed. D. By taking the time to understand and get to know our neighbors, respecting the diversity of those around us, we can build stronger and more connected communities that benefit everyone living there. Chapter 3. Trust, respect, and proactivity in your neighborhood. Respect and kindness are vital to maintaining healthy relationships with your neighbors. This chapter will explore ways to show respect and compassion, such as being considerate when making noise, picking up trash, and keeping the neighborhood clean. 1. Building bridges among diverse groups. Building bridges among various groups requires trust, effective communication, and a willingness to understand and accept cultural differences. It can involve learning about various cultural practices, building relationships with people from different backgrounds, and creating opportunities for cross-cultural interactions. 2. Overcoming communication barriers. Language barriers, cultural differences, and differing communication styles can all create barriers to effective communication. Overcoming these barriers requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to adapt and learn. 3. The importance of feedback. Giving and receiving feedback is crucial for building confidence and improving communication. Providing constructive feedback respectfully can help to prevent misunderstandings and promote positive relationships with your neighbors overall. 4. Respect for boundaries. Respecting your neighbor's privacy is essential. Avoid looking into their windows or eavesdropping on their conversations. 5. Respect your neighbor's property. This is observed by not trespassing or using their belongings without permission. 6. Keep noise levels down, especially during late hours. It is good to be considerate of other neighbors and be mindful of how your activities might affect your neighbors. The above is some of the tips essential for building trust in your neighbors and creating a sense of community that promotes cooperation and togetherness. Being proactive in your neighborhood. To be proactive in your neighborhood means actively making your community a better place to live. The book explores the benefits of being proactive with examples of assertive behavior and the importance of communication in being active. The benefits of being active in your neighborhood are numerous. A. You can help create a safer and more vibrant area by actively participating in your community. B. When neighbors work together, they are more likely to take pride in their community and become invested in its success. C. It can increase property values and a greater sense of community ownership. Examples of active behavior include organizing neighborhood events and promoting community safety. For instance, organizing block parties, community cleanups, games and sports, or holiday events can help build a sense of community and promote positive interactions among neighbors. Starting a neighborhood watch group can also help improve safety and security in the area. Working with local officials to improve infrastructure, such as sidewalks or streetlights, can also enhance the quality of life in the neighborhood. However, being proactive in your neighborhood requires effective communication and collaboration. It means taking the time to get to know your neighbors and understanding their concerns and needs. You can work together to solve common problems by building relationships with your neighbors. It also means keeping lines of communication open and being willing to negotiate, compromise, and find common ground. In conclusion, being proactive in your neighborhood is essential to creating a strong and vibrant community. By taking an active role in your community, you can help create a safer and more welcoming environment for everyone. In addition to working together and communicating effectively, you can build consensus and drive positive change in your neighborhood. Chapter 4. Kindness, Community Participatory Values, and Conflict Resolution. Acts of kindness. Simple acts of kindness can go a long way in building goodwill with your neighbors. For example, offer to help with grocery shopping or pet sitting tasks, or share resources such as tools or gardening equipment. Check in on your neighbors, especially those who may be elderly or vulnerable, to ensure they are safe and well. Safety. Being a good neighbor also means being mindful of safety concerns. Keeping the neighborhood safe by reporting suspicious activity to the authorities is of interest to him. To be aware of potential hazards, such as overgrown trees or loose wires, and take steps to address them. Participation and cooperation. Participating in neighborhood games and activities can help build connections and foster a sense of community. Volunteering. Volunteering your time and resources to help with community projects can show your commitment to the neighborhood and make a positive impact. We should encourage others to get involved and be open to collaborating on initiatives that benefit the community. Inclusivity and diversity. A. Knowing of personal space and privacy and cultural differences and considerations are essential. B. Balancing community and individual needs together is another asset. Resolving conflicts with your neighbors. A. Conflicts with neighbors can be stressful and negatively impact a neighborhood's quality of life. This chapter will explore common types of disputes that can arise in communities, provide approaches to resolving conflicts, and emphasize the importance of compromise and finding common ground. B. Common conflicts in neighborhoods include noise complaints, parking issues, boundary disputes, and differences in lifestyles or beliefs. It's essential to address these conflicts constructively and respectfully to maintain positive relationships with your neighbors and to avoid further escalation. C. Approaches to resolving conflicts include active listening, seeking mediation, and engaging in compromise. Active listening involves focusing 100% on your neighbor's concerns and acknowledging their perspective. D. Seeking mediation can be a practical approach to resolving more complex conflicts, especially when both parties are willing to negotiate and work together towards a resolution. It involves engaging a neutral third party to facilitate a discussion and help both parties agree. Finally, engaging in compromise consists in finding a solution that meets the needs of both parties. It may require some give and take from both sides, but it can lead to a mutually beneficial outcome. E. Arriving at finding common ground and being willing to compromise is crucial to resolving conflicts and maintaining positive relationships with your neighbors. It's essential to approach conflicts with an open mind and a willingness to listen and work towards a solution. This approach can avoid further escalation of competition and lead to a more harmonious and peaceful neighborhood. In conclusion, conflicts with neighbors can be challenging, but addressing them constructively and respectfully is essential. By adopting active listening, seeking mediation, and engaging in compromise, you can work towards a resolution that meets the needs of both parties. Finding common ground and maintaining positive relationships with your neighbors can help create a sense of community and improve the quality of life in your neighborhood. Chapter 5. Contributing to the safety and security of your community. A safe and secure neighborhood is desirable. As a good neighbor, you can help make it happen. The book covers ways to keep your community safe and secure, such as installing security cameras and reporting suspicious activities to the police. Examples of ways to contribute to the well-being of your neighborhood, such as volunteering and maintaining a clean environment. This chapter will provide practical examples of ways to contribute to the well-being of your community, such as volunteering for local organizations, participating in neighborhood cleanup events, and supporting local businesses. Importance of being an active and engaged member of your community. The book emphasizes the importance of being an active and involved member, highlighting the many benefits of doing so, such as increased social support and a greater sense of purpose. One way to contribute to the well-being of your neighborhood is to support local businesses. Patronizing local stores and restaurants helps stimulate the local economy and fosters a sense of community and belonging. Furthermore, it creates a vibrant and thriving community by patronizing local businesses. Another way to contribute to the well-being of your neighborhood is to participate in local events and activities. Attending community meetings, festivals, and other gatherings can help you to connect with your neighbors and build a stronger sense of community. Additionally, participating in local events can foster a sense of pride and ownership in your neighborhood. Volunteering for local organizations and charities is also a great way to achieve neighborhood peace and stability. Whether volunteering at a local food bank, participating in a neighborhood watch program, or helping out at a community center, volunteering can help you positively impact your community and build meaningful connections with your neighbors. Finally, maintaining a positive and respectful attitude towards your neighbors can also contribute to the well-being of your neighborhood. Treating others with kindness and respect can go a long way towards building strong relationships and fostering a sense of community. By being mindful of your behavior and attitudes towards others, you can help to create a safe, welcoming, and supportive neighborhood for all. Respect for lives and properties. A safe and secure neighborhood is desirable. You can help make it happen as a neighbor. This chapter will cover ways to keep your community safe and secure, such as installing security cameras and reporting suspicious activities to the police. This chapter will explore how to respect your neighbor's property, such as keeping your pets from wandering into their lawn and not parking in their driveway. A. Respect for the sanctity of life. B. Respect for privacy. C. Respect for property. D. Respect for noise level. E. Do not do to others what you would not like to do to yourself. Community development and conflict resolution. A. Navigating disagreements and conflicts. B. Active listening, finding common ground. C. Mediation and compromise. D. Health and safety. E. Keeping the neighborhood safe. F. Reporting suspicious activity. G. Being mindful of potential hazards. Chapter 6. Peaceful Conflict Resolution. How to live peacefully and resolve community conflicts will include the following strategic plans. Discuss the importance of living peacefully and resolving conflicts in a community to maintain a safe and harmonious living environment for all residents. Examples of common community conflicts include noise complaints, property disputes, and neighborhood safety concerns. Share practical tips for resolving conflicts peacefully and constructively, such as active listening, seeking mediation, and compromise. Highlight the importance of maintaining positive relationships with neighbors, even in the face of conflict, to build a solid and supportive community. Living peacefully in a community can be challenging, especially when disputes arise suddenly, and resolving disputes constructively to maintain positive relationships with neighbors is possible. Some tips for resolving conflicts include: A. Actively listen to the other person's perspective and try to see their point of view. B. Avoid using aggressive or accusatory language, but communicate calmly and respectfully. C. Use the I statements to express how the conflict affects you personally. D. Seek mediation or a neutral third party to help find a resolution that works for both parties. E. Be willing to compromise and find a solution that meets all needs. F. How to set up a community group that will promote community diversity and cohesion. G. Discuss the importance of promoting community diversity and cohesion to build a more inclusive and welcoming community for all residents. H. Provide examples of community groups promoting diversity and cohesion, such as cultural organizations, community service groups, and neighborhood associations. I. Share practical tips for setting up a community group to promote diversity and cohesion, such as identifying community needs, recruiting volunteers, and establishing a mission statement. J. Highlight the importance of building partnerships with community organizations and local businesses to support diversity and inclusion efforts in a community. Health and safety in the community. To create lasting health and safety in a community, please follow these suggestions. A. Discuss the importance of promoting health and safety in a community to ensure the well-being of all residents. B. Provide examples of joint health and safety concerns, such as access to healthcare, crime prevention, and emergency preparedness. C. Share practical tips for promoting health and safety in a community, such as organizing community events focused on health and wellness, establishing a neighborhood watch program, and creating emergency response plans. D. Highlight the importance of actively promoting health and safety in a community to build a safer and more secure living environment for all residents. E. In addition to volunteering and maintaining a clean environment, there are many other ways to contribute to the well-being of your neighborhood. The book explores some of those ways and highlights the importance of being an active and engaged community member. What are the essentials? Ensuring the health and safety of a community is essential for maintaining a high quality of living for all residents. Some tips for promoting health and safety in a community include: A. Residents encourage healthy habits such as regular exercise and healthy eating. B. to promote safety measures such as wearing seat belts while driving and using smoke detectors in homes. C. To educate residents about common health concerns and how to prevent them. D. To create safe and well-lit walking and biking paths to encourage physical activity and reduce the risk of accidents. E. To arrange community events such as health fairs and safety seminars to promote awareness and provide resources. Setting up a community group. A. A community group can effectively promote diversity and cohesion in a neighborhood. Below are some tips for setting up a community group. B. You need to identify the goals and objectives of the group, such as promoting cultural diversity or community events. C. Recruit members who are interested in promoting diversity and cohesion and have a passion for community involvement. D. Create a structure for the group, such as a board of directors or committee members, and determine how to make decisions. E. Plan regular meetings and events to engage members and promote community involvement. F. Develop partnerships with other community organizations and businesses to leverage resources and support. By implementing the above-stated strategies, a community group can effectively promote diversity and cohesion in a neighborhood, while providing opportunities for residents to get involved and impact their community. Chapter 7. Celebrating diversity and inclusion and building a great societal cohesion. The importance of celebrating diversity and promoting inclusion in your neighborhood includes examples of ways to celebrate diversity and encourage active participation. A. Attending cultural events. B. Supporting local businesses owned by people from diverse backgrounds. C. Initiating conversations about diversity and inclusion. D. Sharing practical tips for promoting diversity and inclusion, such as being open-minded. E. Challenging stereotypes and prejudices. F. Respecting cultural differences. G. Discuss how celebrating diversity and promoting inclusion can contribute to a more vibrant neighborhood community. Disputes can arise in any neighborhood, and handling them can significantly impact the relationships between neighbors and the overall sense of community in the area. A. It is essential to approach conflict resolution respectfully and constructively, because it can help to maintain positive relationships with neighbors and foster a sense of community. For example, neighborhood conflicts include noise complaints, property disputes, and disagreements about using common spaces. B. It is essential to practice active listening, seek out neutral third parties for mediation, and be willing to compromise in resolving conflict. Active listening is paying attention to what the other person is saying to understand better. Mediation involves engaging a neutral third party to facilitate a conversation between parties in conflict, which can help to reach a mutually beneficial resolution. C. It is also essential to find common ground and be willing to compromise to resolve conflicts. It can involve identifying the underlying concerns of each party and finding creative solutions that meet the needs of both parties. The benefits of resolving conflicts include: A. It leads to better relationships between neighbors. B. It contributes to a more peaceful and harmonious neighborhood. C. It can also help prevent disputes from escalating and becoming more challenging. D. In conflict resolution, promoting diversity in the neighborhood can contribute to a more vital and vibrant community. Celebrating diversity and promoting inclusion involves embracing differences and appreciating each person's unique contributions to the community. Some practical ways to celebrate diversity and promote inclusion in the neighborhood include: A. Attending cultural events. B. Supporting local businesses owned by people from diverse backgrounds. C. Initiating conversations about diversity and inclusion. D. It is also essential to be open-minded challenge stereotypes and prejudices, and respect cultural differences. Promoting inclusion. A. It fosters community and builds positive neighborhood relationships. B. It also helps to prevent discrimination and exclusion. C. It creates a more welcoming and accepting neighborhood for all residents. The benefits of a strong community spirit. Building resilience and support networks. A. Participating in neighborhood events. B. Helping with community projects. C. Encouraging others to get involved. In conclusion, resolving conflicts respectfully and constructively and promoting diversity and inclusion are essential for building a solid and vibrant neighborhood community. By practicing these values, we can contribute to a peaceful and harmonious neighborhood that is welcoming and accepting for all residents. The benefits of resolving conflicts include: A. It leads to better relationships between neighbors. B. It contributes to a more peaceful and harmonious neighborhood. C. It can also help prevent disputes from escalating and becoming more challenging. D. In addition to resolving conflicts, promoting diversity in the neighborhood can contribute to a more vital and vibrant community. Celebrating diversity and promoting inclusion involves embracing differences and appreciating each person's unique contributions to the community. Some practical ways to celebrate diversity and promote inclusion in the neighborhood include: A. Attending cultural events. B. Supporting local businesses owned by people from diverse backgrounds. C. Initiating conversations about diversity and inclusion. D. It is also essential to be open-minded, challenge stereotypes and prejudices, and respect cultural differences. E. It fosters community and builds positive neighborhood relationships. F. It also helps to prevent discrimination and exclusion. G. It creates a more welcoming and accepting neighborhood for all residents. The benefits of a strong community spirit. Building resilience and support networks. A. Participating in neighborhood events. B. Helping with community projects. C. Encouraging others to get involved. In conclusion, resolving conflicts respectfully and constructively and promoting diversity and inclusion are essential for building a solid and vibrant neighborhood community. By practicing these values, we can contribute to a peaceful and harmonious neighborhood that is welcoming and accepting for all residents. Chapter 8. How to set up a community interest group. Setting up a community interest group can be a rewarding and fulfilling endeavor. Such a group can unite like-minded individuals who share a common interest and work towards a shared goal. Below is a template for setting up a community interest group, including aims and objectives, strategies, governance and guidelines, constitution methodologies, operational procedures, and benefits to the community. 1. Aims and objectives. The first step is to define its aims and objectives that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. In addition, the group's aims and objectives should be on its members' shared values and interests. For example, a community interest group focused on environmental conservation might have the following aims and objectives. A. To promote sustainable living practices within the community. B. To reduce carbon emissions and enhance energy efficiency. C. To protect and conserve natural resources. D. To create public awareness about environmental issues and encourage community participation in conservation efforts. E. To work with local authorities and others to promote environmentally friendly policies and practices. 2. Strategies. Once the aims and objectives of the community interest group are agreed have been established, the next step is to develop strategies to achieve them. It includes the following a variety of activities, such as A. Organising community events, such as clean-up campaigns and awareness-raising workshops. B. You are advocating local and national policy changes. C. Collaborating with other organisations and stakeholders to achieve common goals. D. Fundraising to support the group's activities and initiatives. 3. Governance and guidelines. The power and guidelines of the community interest group are crucial to its success. They include the following. A. The structure and composition of the leadership team. B. Procedures for decision-making, how to reach decisions, and who has the authority to make them. C. Membership guidelines, including who can join the group and their responsibilities. D. Guidelines for communication, including how information is shared and conflict resolution. E. Guidelines for financial management, including fundraising and allocation. 4. Constitution methodologies. The community interest group should have a constitution that outlines its aims and objectives, as well as its governance and guidelines. The form should be developed and reviewed in consultation with group members and regularly reviewed and updated. 5. Operational guidelines. There is a need to develop operational guidelines to ensure the group's activities are practical and efficient. These should include the following. A. Procedures for holding events and activities, including who is responsible for what tasks and how resources are allocated. B. Guidelines for communicating with members and the wider community, including how information is shared and feedback is collected and acted upon. C. Guidelines for monitoring and evaluation, including how progress towards the group's aims and objectives will be measured and reported. 6. Benefits to the community. Finally, it is essential to consider the benefits that the community interest group will bring to the broader community. These might include A. Creating public awareness and understanding of the issues that the group is working on. B. Improved environmental or social outcomes, such as reduced carbon emissions or increased community cohesion. C. Opportunities for community participation and engagement in decision-making processes. D. Increased access to resources and support for community initiatives and activities. 7. Barriers to overcome. Several potential barriers exist to setting up a community interest group, but with careful planning and proactive measures. Below are some of the most common obstacles and how to overcome them. A. Lack of resources. One of the most significant barriers to setting up a community interest group is the need for more resources, financial resources, human resources, and time. It can make events, communicating with members, and achieving the group's goals difficult. Overcoming this barrier may require creative fundraising strategies, such as seeking grants or crowdfunding, recruiting committed volunteers, and adopting technology to streamline communication and organizational processes. B. Limited participation. Another challenge is attracting and maintaining diverse members committed to the goals and actively participating in its activities. It may be necessary to engage in outreach efforts to recruit new members and to foster community cohesion through regular meetings, social events, and other activities. C. Conflicting priorities. Members may have different priorities or conflicting interests, making it difficult to achieve consensus on the group's goals and strategies. It may be necessary to establish clear channels of communication and decision-making processes, including soliciting input from all members, setting clear objectives, and establishing a democratic process for decision-making. D. Lack of support from the wider community. The group may need more support or apathy from the wider community, limiting its effectiveness and reach. It may be necessary to engage in outreach efforts to build relationships with other community organizations and stakeholders and to communicate the group's goals and achievements to the broader community through social media, local press, and other channels. In conclusion, while there are potential barriers to setting up a community interest group, careful planning, proactive measures, and a commitment to the group's goals and values will go a long way in removing the barriers. Furthermore, by building a solid and diverse community of committed members and engaging in outreach efforts with other organizations and stakeholders, community interest groups can significantly impact the community and help achieve positive social and environmental outcomes. Establishing community interest groups. Different types of community interest groups can be set up, depending on the specific interests and needs of the community. Below are some examples. A. Environmental groups. These groups focus on protecting and improving the environment, including conservation, climate change, renewable energy, and waste reduction. B. Health and wellness groups. These groups promote physical and mental health and well-being, including fitness classes, support groups, and educational programs. C. Arts and culture groups. These groups promote artistic and cultural activities, including music, theatre, visual arts, and community events. Groups. These groups should focus on promoting social justice and equity, human rights, racial justice, and gender equality. A. Community development groups. These groups focus on improving a community's overall quality of life, including affordable housing, economic development, and community safety. B. Education groups. These groups promote education and lifelong learning, including literacy, STEM education, and access to higher education. C. Faith-based groups. These groups promote the spiritual and religious well-being of the community, including activities such as worship services, spiritual retreats, and community service projects. D. Animal welfare groups. These groups focus on promoting the welfare and protection of animals, including issues such as animal rescue and adoption, animal rights, and pet care education. These are some examples of existing community interest groups. Ultimately, the specific type of group will depend on the community's needs. The pitfalls to avoid. When setting up a community interest group, try and handle with care the underlisted issues. A. Lack of clarity on goals and objectives. Establish clear and achievable goals and objectives for the group. Please do so to avoid confusion and lack of direction, which can undermine the group's effectiveness. B. Lack of communication and collaboration. Efficient and effective communication and networking are critical to the success of any community interest group. Establish clear communication channels and decision-making processes to encourage participation and engagement from all members. C. Failure to address conflicts. Conflicts and disagreements are inevitable in any group, but addressing them constructively and respectfully is essential. Ignoring conflict can lead to resentment and division within the group. D. Lack of financial planning. Financial planning is essential to the group's sustainability. Establishing a budget, seeking funding sources, and developing fundraising strategies to support the group's activities is crucial. E. Failure to comply with regulations and legal requirements. Community interest groups are subject to various regulations and legal requirements, such as registration and reporting requirements. Failing to comply with the above-listed requirements can lead to legal issues and undermine the group's credibility. F. Lack of inclusivity and diversity. Community interest groups should strive to be inclusive and diverse, representing the interests and needs of all community members. However, inclusiveness and a sense of belonging can lead to a lack of representation and exclusion of certain groups. By avoiding these common pitfalls, community interest groups can establish a strong foundation for success and effectively serve the needs and interests of the community. Regular offices and responsibilities. 1. Chairperson. The chairperson is responsible for leading the group and ensuring that meetings run smoothly. He presides over meetings, sets agendas, and facilitates discussions. He also ensures the group operates within its constitution and bylaws. 2. Vice Chairperson. The Vice Chairperson supports the Chairperson and fills in for them when needed. He may also be responsible for tasks assigned by the Chairperson or the Constitution. 3. Secretary. The Secretary's roles include taking minutes of meetings, maintaining records, and handling correspondence on behalf of the group. They may also ensure the group's records are up to date and easily accessible. 4. Treasurer. This description of the job duties for the Treasurer is to disperse all funds received into the group's bank account in a responsible and organised manner, with funds identified and bills paid when due, so that the mission and ministry of the congregation are supported and strengthened. 5. Financial Secretary. The general job responsibilities and duties of the Financial Secretary include: A. Work according to the policies and procedures established by the Trustee Board or Financial Management Committee or team. B. Receive record and receipt funds from all sources and report them to the Treasurer, Trustee Board or Financial Management Committee or team. C. Receive offerings collected during worship services and count them after the services, ensuring more than one person is involved in collecting and counting the offerings. D. Ensure funds are deposited in a bank as soon as possible after they are received. Deposits should be made within 3 days of receipt. E. Establish a procedure to collect and record funds received other than through regular subscriptions, including funds received by mail or electronically. F. Produce individual charitable gift report summaries of all donations received during a calendar year, and mail them within 2 weeks of the end of that year. Group may choose to produce individual reports quarterly. G. Report regularly to the Trustee Board or Financial Management or Committee or team regarding total funds pledged and received for the year. H. Report at annual meeting regarding total funds pledged, if appropriate, and received for the year. I. Inform and encourage regular, systematic giving by members by providing information regarding electronic giving. J. Maintain confidentiality of all financial information about receiving, recording, and depositing of funds. 6. Public Relations Officer. The Public Relations Officer promotes the group and its activities to the public. They are to promote the group through the mass media and below-the-line advertising, including distributing newsletters, managing social media accounts, and organising events to raise awareness of the group's work. 7. Membership Officer. The Membership Officer manages the group's membership, including recruiting new members, maintaining accurate records, and ensuring that membership fees are collected and processed on time. 8. Event Coordinator. The Event Coordinator is to plan and organize events and activities for the group. In addition, they may coordinate volunteers, manage event logistics, and ensure that events run smoothly. These roles and responsibilities may vary depending on the group's objectives. However, the above provides a general guide for organizing and managing a community interest group. Advise on bank account opening. Opening a bank account for a community interest group is essential in managing the group's finances. Below are some issues to consider when opening a bank account. 1. Choose the correct type of account. Banks have different accounts available for community interest groups, including checking, savings, and money market accounts. Pick the type of account that best fits the group's aims and objectives. 2. Research banks and credit unions. Research banks or credit unions offering accounts specifically for community interest groups. Again, consider factors such as fees, interest rates, and customer service. 3. Gather required documents. To open a bank account, you must typically provide documentation, such as the group's certificate of incorporation, tax identification number, and proof of address. 4. Determine who can access the account. Decide who will access the group's bank account. Typically, this includes the treasurer and one or more other authorized signers. 5. Set up internal controls. Establish internal controls to ensure all transactions are authorized, recorded, and reconciled. For example, it may include policies requiring 2 signatures on checks above a certain amount. 6. Keep accurate records. Keep up-to-date records of all transactions, including deposits, withdrawals, and written checks. It makes tracking the group's finances and preparing financial reports easier. 7. Review the account regularly. Review it regularly to ensure that it meets the group's needs and that all transactions are accurate and authorized. Opening a bank account for a community interest group requires careful planning and attention to detail. By following the above-listed tips, you can help ensure the group's finances are properly managed and accounted for. In conclusion, setting up a community interest group requires careful planning and consideration of the group's aims and objectives and strategies. Others are governance and guidelines, constitutional methodologies, operational procedures, and benefits to the community. However, such a group's benefits to the community are significant, and the rewards of working towards a shared goal with like-minded individuals are immeasurable. Chapter 9. Case study of 5 different situations of a good and caring neighbour's behaviour. The Johnson family. The Johnsons have young children who recently moved into a new neighbourhood. Their neighbours welcomed them warmly and offered to help settle them in. One of the neighbours even organised a welcome party for them. The Johnsons, touched by the kindness of their new neighbours, were inspired to reciprocate by being involved in community events and volunteering for local causes. The elderly neighbour. Ms. Thompson is an elderly neighbour who lives alone. Her neighbours often check on her and help with grocery shopping and trash removal errands. They also take turns visiting her to keep her company and ensure she is safe and comfortable. Ms. Thompson feels loved and cared for by her neighbours and is grateful for their kindness. The Neighbourhood Watch Group. A group of neighbours formed a neighbourhood watch group after a series of break-ins in the area. They monitored each other's homes and shared tips on improving security. Their efforts paid off, as the room had no more break-ins. The watch group has since evolved into a community organisation that tackles other issues affecting the neighbourhood. The Community Garden. A group of neighbours came together to start a community garden on a vacant lot in their neighbourhood. They worked hard to clear the land and build garden beds. The park has become a source of fresh produce for the community and a place for neighbours to come together and bond over their love for gardening. The Student Volunteers. A group of college students volunteered to help elderly neighbours with yard work and home repairs. They spent their weekends helping with tasks like raking leaves, mowing lawns, and painting fences. The elderly neighbours were grateful for the help, and the students gained valuable experience and developed meaningful relationships with their neighbours. Chapter 10. Using the faith groups to promote community cohesion and peaceful coexistence. Introduction. As a consultant and expert in community development, I firmly believe that community faith groups have immense potential to enhance diversity and promote cohesion within communities. Faith organizations serve as hubs of social, cultural, and spiritual activities, providing platforms for people of diverse backgrounds to come together, celebrate their differences, and foster a sense of unity. In this chapter, I will provide valuable recommendations on how community faith groups can actively enhance community diversity and promote cohesive relationships among individuals and groups. Embrace inclusivity and celebrate diversity. 1. Foster an inclusive environment. Community faith groups should actively welcome individuals from diverse backgrounds and ensure everyone feels valued and respected. 2. Promote cultural exchange. Organize events that share cultural practices, traditions, and celebrations, allowing community members to learn from one another and celebrate diversity together. 3. Facilitate interfaith dialogue. Arrange interfaith talks, discussions, and workshops, encouraging meaningful conversations among religious groups and promoting understanding, tolerance, and mutual respect. Engaging in collaborative community initiatives. 1. Establish partnerships. Seek collaborations with local organizations, schools, and community centers to develop joint initiatives that address common community challenges and foster connections between different segments of society. 2. Volunteer and service projects. Engage in community service projects that benefit the wider community, irrespective of religious affiliations, building bridges and fostering goodwill. 3. Participate in community events. Actively participate in community-wide events, such as festivals, parades, or cultural exhibitions, showcasing the diversity of their beliefs and traditions in the faith group. Promoting education and awareness. 1. Organize educational programs. Offer workshops, seminars, or training sessions on cultural competency, religious literacy, and interfaith dialogue to enhance understanding and bridge knowledge gaps. 2. Interfaith youth programs. Create opportunities for young people from diverse faith backgrounds to unite, engage in dialogue, and collaborate on community service projects, fostering interfaith friendships and future community leaders. 3. Open doors to dialogue. Establish platforms for open discussions on societal issues, inviting individuals from various backgrounds to share their perspectives, and promoting empathy and understanding. Addressing social issues and injustice. 1. Collaborate on social justice initiatives. Partner with other community organizations to address social inequalities, discrimination, or issues affecting vulnerable populations, working collectively for positive change. 2. Advocacy and community outreach. Stand against prejudice, discrimination, and bias by actively participating in community awareness campaigns, public forums, or rallies that promote equality, justice, and social harmony. 3. Support community resilience. Provide resources and support to community members during times of crisis or hardship, demonstrating solidarity and fostering a shared sense of responsibility towards one another. Conclusion. Community faith groups have a unique role in enhancing community diversity and promoting society cohesion. By embracing inclusivity, engaging in collaborative initiatives, promoting education and awareness, and addressing social issues, these groups can create spaces for celebrating diversity. Bonds and understanding are nurtured. Through these collective efforts, community faith groups can become agents of positive change, contributing to vibrant, harmonious, and cohesive communities that thrive on respect, unity, and diversity. How to promote peace and stability among different faiths. It is crucial for fostering harmony, understanding, and shared community. Below are some practical ways to promote peace and tranquility among other religions. 1. Interfaith dialogue and collaboration. Encourage and facilitate regular interfaith dialogues, discussions, and collaborations. Provide platforms for individuals from different faith traditions to come together and engage in respectful conversations, fostering understanding, empathy, and mutual respect. These dialogues can focus on common values, shared concerns, and building bridges of cooperation. 2. Education and awareness. Promote religious literacy and understanding through educational initiatives. Offer workshops, seminars, and educational programs that provide accurate information about various faith traditions, dispel stereotypes, and address misconceptions. This knowledge helps foster empathy, respect, and appreciation for diverse religious beliefs and practices. 3. Community events and celebrations. Organize community events and celebrations that unite people from different faith backgrounds. These events can include cultural festivals, religious observances, or interfaith gatherings. Such occasions allow individuals to learn from one another, share their traditions, and celebrate diversity. 4. Conflict resolution and mediation. Establish mechanisms for peaceful conflict resolution and mediation. Encourage open communication and dialogue when conflicts arise, emphasizing the importance of finding common ground and understanding different perspectives. Mediation processes should be fair, neutral, and inclusive, helping to build trust and restore harmony. 5. Collaborative service projects. Engage in collaborative community service projects that involve individuals from different faith communities. By working side by side for the betterment of society, people can build relationships, break down stereotypes, and develop a sense of shared purpose. The shared experience promotes understanding and cooperation. 6. Religious leaders' engagement. Encourage religious leaders to play an active role in promoting peace and stability. Religious leaders can participate in interfaith dialogues, issue joint statements on important issues, and foster dialogue and understanding within their faith communities. Their leadership and influence can significantly affect the promotion of harmony and peace. 7. Policy advocacy. Engage in advocacy efforts to promote inclusive policies that protect religious freedom, ensure equal rights and opportunities, and prevent discrimination based on faith. Collaborate with like-minded organizations and individuals to promote legislation that supports peace, tolerance, and the protection of religious minorities. 8. Grassroots initiatives. Support grassroots initiatives that promote interfaith understanding and cooperation. Encourage local community members to organize events, workshops, and dialogue sessions within their neighborhoods or places of worship. These initiatives create spaces for meaningful connections and relationships to form. 9. Media and communication. Utilize media and communication platforms to promote positive narratives and stories of interfaith cooperation and understanding. Share stories of individuals and communities working together to bridge divides and promote peace. Use social media, publications, and other channels to spread messages of tolerance, respect, and unity. 10. Conflict prevention and early intervention. Invest in initiatives focusing on conflict prevention and early intervention. By addressing underlying tensions and grievances before they escalate, communities can prevent conflicts and maintain peaceful cohabitation. Support programs promoting dialogue, understanding, and relationship building between faith communities. Promoting peace and stability among faiths requires ongoing commitment, understanding, and collaborative efforts from individuals, organizations, and communities. We can build a society that values diversity and thrives on peaceful coexistence by fostering dialogue, education, cooperation, and empathy. Chapter 11. How to use culture and ethnic diversity to promote social cohesion and integration. Strategies listed below aim to foster inclusivity, respect, and understanding among individuals from different cultural backgrounds. They are: 1. Promoting cultural awareness and education. Organize cultural festivals, workshops, or seminars where community members can learn each other's traditions, customs, and histories. It will encourage participation from different ethnic groups to share their knowledge and experiences, promoting mutual understanding and respect. 2. Establishing intercultural exchange programs. It is to create opportunities for people from diverse backgrounds to interact and engage in meaningful exchanges. It includes language exchange programs, cultural immersion experiences, or mentorship initiatives where individuals can learn from one another's experiences. 3. Supporting multicultural organizations and initiatives. Provide resources and support for organizations that promote multiculturalism, diversity, and inclusion. Organize events, activities, and initiatives that encourage collaboration, networking, and dialogue among community members. 4. Fostering inclusive spaces. Ensure that public spaces, community centers, and schools are designed to accommodate and celebrate diverse cultural expressions. Furthermore, it incorporates artwork, symbols, and designs of the various ethnicities within the community and helps create an inclusive environment where individuals feel valued and welcomed. 5. Encouraging cross-cultural understanding and collaborations. Encourage partnerships between different cultural groups to work on projects or initiatives that benefit the community. They are involved in joint cultural performances, community service projects, or collaborative business ventures. 6. Enhancing language access and interpretation services. Provide language services and interpretation support to bridge communication barriers. It ensures that all community members, regardless of their language proficiency, can actively participate in community activities and have their voices heard. 7. Establishing interfaith dialogues. Promote dialogue and understanding among various religious groups by sponsoring interfaith events, panel discussions, or workshops. The events facilitate conversations about shared values, beliefs, and traditions, fostering harmony and respect. 8. Encouraging leadership and representation. Empower individuals from diverse backgrounds to take on leadership roles within community, local government, and other decision-making bodies. It helps ensure that different perspectives are represented and considered in community development and decision-making processes. 9. Addressing systemic barriers and discrimination. Actively work towards dismantling systemic barriers and discriminatory practices that hinder social integration, and implement policies that promote equality, fairness, and social justice for all community members. 10. Fostering collaboration with local authorities and institutions. Collaborate with local authorities, educational institutions, and social services to develop programs and policies that support integration and celebrate diversity. It involves joint initiatives, funding opportunities, or policy advocacy efforts. The strategies address the specific needs and context of the community. A comprehensive approach that addresses various aspects of community life is essential for promoting cohesion and integration. Below are some examples of countries and cities enhancing community cohesion and integration. They showcase successful initiatives and serve as inspiration for other communities. Leicester, United Kingdom. Leicester is a city known for its successful multiculturalism and community cohesion. It implemented strategies such as the Leicester Equalities Charter, which promotes equality, diversity, and inclusion across all sectors. The City of Leicester also hosts events like the Leicester Belgrave Mela, celebrating South Asian culture. Other main festivals are the Caribbean Carnival, Good Friday, Christ at the Centre, and the Diwali, Celebration of Colours. All is bridging the bridge between multiculturalism and community engagement. The Good Friday Leicester City Centre Assembly by Christians and non-Christian alike. Leicester City Centre usually comes to a standstill on Good Friday when thousands of people, including shoppers, join Christian worshippers to pause and reflect on Jesus' death and resurrection. The crowd usually gathered on the last day of Christians' 40 days of fasting in a somber reenactment of Jesus' trial and crucifixion. 1. Purpose. The event aims to provide a visual representation of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and the events leading up to it. It serves as a reminder of the central significance of Good Friday in Christian theology and allows attendees to reflect on the sacrifice and teachings of Jesus. 2. Stage play. The stage drama typically involves actors portraying biblical characters, including Jesus, his disciples, and other key figures in the crucifixion narrative. The drama follows the Stations of the Cross, depicting different scenes and moments leading up to the crucifixion. 3. Location. The event is held in a prominent location, often in a city centre or a public square, to ensure visibility and accessibility for a larger audience. It allows passers-by and attendees to witness the play and engage with the dramatic representation of the crucifixion. 4. Community collaboration. The Jesus in the Centre event is likely a collaborative effort involving multiple churches in Leicester. It provides an opportunity for different Christian denominations to come together, work jointly, and collectively present the message of Good Friday to the community. 5. Audience engagement. The event is open to the public, and people from all walks of life are welcome to attend and witness the stage play. The aim is to engage the audience emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually, enabling them to connect with the story and message of the crucifixion. 6. Spiritual reflection. The event offers a time of reflection, prayer, and contemplation for those attending. It provides an opportunity to meditate on the significance of Jesus' sacrifice, express gratitude, and seek personal spiritual renewal. Diwali Festival of Colours. Another festival observed is Diwali, the Indian Festival of Lights, celebrated yearly around October and November. It depicts the triumph of light over dark, good over evil, and the blessings of victory, freedom, and enlightenment. Though technically religious, it has also become a cultural event, celebrated with sweets and special foods in Leicester on Belgrave Road by the Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, and Newer Buddhists around the world living in Leicester and Leicestershire. 1. Diwali Day. On the day of Diwali, families come together to perform traditional prayers and rituals at home or in temples. Celebrants exchange gifts, share festive meals, and visit friends and relatives to extend their good wishes. 2. Diwali Melas and Fireworks. The Diwali festivities in Leicester often include lively street fairs, known as Diwali Melas. These melas feature various activities, including live music, dance performances, food stalls, henna painting, and cultural exhibitions. The celebrations culminate with spectacular firework displays, lighting up the night sky. 3. Community engagement. The Leicester Diwali celebrations promote community engagement and inclusivity. People from diverse backgrounds come together to appreciate and learn about Hindu culture, traditions, and values. The event provides an opportunity for intercultural exchange and understanding. The Leicester Diwali celebrations are a vibrant and joyous occasion that brings together communities to celebrate the triumph of light over darkness and good over evil. It is a time of togetherness, reflection, and spreading happiness and prosperity. The festivities showcase the rich cultural heritage of the Indian community in Leicester, while promoting unity and understanding among people of different backgrounds. The African Caribbean Carnival. The Leicester Caribbean Carnival is an annual event held in Leicester, United Kingdom since 1985, except for 2006 for lack of funding, that celebrates Caribbean culture, heritage, and traditions. It is one of the most vibrant events in the city. The community-led carnival has been held annually since 1985 on the first Saturday in August, with a parade around the city of Leicester, usually taking in the city centre and the suburb of Highfields, culminating in an event in Victoria Park. A week-long cultural event usually preceded by the parade. It is the third largest Caribbean carnival in the UK after the Leeds and Notting Hill Carnival. The Leicester Caribbean Carnival is an annual event celebrating the Caribbean cultural heritage and traditions in Leicester, United Kingdom. Below, some information about the event. 1. Parade and Masquerade. The highlight of the Leicester Caribbean Carnival is the vibrant parade, featuring colourful costumes, floats, and lively music. The participants, often dressed in elaborate and eye-catching attire, dance through the streets to the rhythms of Caribbean music, such as reggae, soca, calypso, and steel pan. 2. Music, dance, and entertainment. The Carnival offers a diverse lineup of live performances showcasing Caribbean music, including performances by local and international artists. Attendees can enjoy genres like reggae, dancehall, soca, and traditional Caribbean folk music. Furthermore, dance competitions, DJs, and sound systems add to the festive atmosphere. 3. Food and cuisine. The Carnival is renowned for its delicious Caribbean cuisine. Various food stalls and vendors offer a wide range of mouth-watering Caribbean dishes, including jerk chicken, curries, roti, rice and peas, and tropical fruits. It's an opportunity to savor the flavors and aromas of Caribbean cooking. 4. Cultural activities and workshops. The Leicester Caribbean Carnival provides a platform to promote and preserve Caribbean cultural traditions. It often includes workshops, demonstrations, and interactive activities such as steel pan playing, drumming, and Caribbean arts and crafts. These activities aim to engage the community and share the cultural heritage of the Caribbean. 5. Community engagement. The Carnival is a community-led event that brings together people from different backgrounds and cultures. It fosters a sense of inclusivity and promotes social cohesion by encouraging participation and interaction among attendees. The Leicester Caribbean Carnival is a vibrant and joyful celebration that attracts locals and visitors, offering a glimpse into the rich and diverse Caribbean culture. It provides an opportunity to appreciate Caribbean music, art, cuisine, and traditions, while fostering unity and cultural exchange within the community. Canada. Canada is known for its multicultural policies and initiatives that promote diversity and inclusivity. The country has implemented programs such as the Multiculturalism Policy and the Canadian Multiculturalism Act, which aim to foster cultural diversity, support the integration of newcomers, and promote intercultural understanding. Singapore. People know Singapore for its efforts in promoting racial and religious harmony. The country established the Presidential Council for Minority Rights, which safeguards the interests of minority communities. The government sponsors events like the Harmony Games and the Interracial and Religious Confidence Circles to promote intercultural dialogue and understanding. Sweden. Sweden has implemented various initiatives to promote integration and community cohesion. The Swedish Public Employment Service runs programs to help immigrants find employment, and the Swedish Institute offers language and cultural courses for newcomers. All efforts are aimed at the integration of immigrants and fostering social cohesion. New Zealand. New Zealand has made significant efforts to appreciate and respect its indigenous Maori culture and promote multiculturalism. It implemented policies to preserve and promote the Maori language and traditions, such as the Maori Language Act, and cultural diversity through events like the Auckland Lantern Festival and the Pacifica Festival. The effectiveness of these strategies may vary depending on the community's unique characteristics. It is essential to assess the local context, engage with stakeholders, and tailor them to the specific needs and aspirations of the community you're working with. Chapter 12. Questions and answers on being a good and caring neighbour. Questions. Question 1. What does it mean to be a good and caring neighbour? Question 2. How can I show kindness to my neighbours? Question 3. Why is it essential to establish good relationships with neighbours? Question 4. How can I respect my neighbour's privacy? Question 5. What are some ways to be helpful to my neighbours? Question 6. How to communicate effectively with my neighbours? Question 7. What should I do if a conflict arises with a neighbour? Question 8. How can I contribute to a safe neighbourhood? Question 9. How can I promote a sense of community among neighbours? Question 10. How can I be considerate of my neighbours' schedules and routines? Question 11. How can I promote inclusivity and diversity in my neighborhood? Question 12. What should I do if I notice a neighbor needing assistance? Question 13. How can I create a welcoming atmosphere for new neighbors? Question 14. How can I ensure the safety of my neighbor's property? Question 15. How can I involve my neighbors in community initiatives? Question 16. What are some ways to resolve conflicts peacefully? Question 17. How can I be mindful of my neighbor's well-being? Question 18. How can I contribute to a clean and tidy neighborhood? Question 19. How can I foster a sense of belonging among neighbors? Question 20. How can I be a good neighbor during emergencies or natural disasters? Question 21. What should I do if I observe a neighbor in distress? Question 22. How can I create a sense of unity among neighbors? Question 23. How can I foster a sense of trust among neighbors? Question 24. How can I promote a peaceful environment in the neighborhood? Question 25. How can I promote environmental sustainability in the neighborhood? Question 26. How can I support local businesses and initiatives in the neighborhood? Question 27. How can I engage with diverse cultures and traditions in the neighborhood? Question 28. How can I be mindful of the needs of elderly or differently abled neighbors? Question 29. How can I be a supportive neighbor to families with young children? Question 30. How can I promote shared responsibility for the neighborhood's upkeep? Remember, being a good and caring neighbor requires ongoing effort and a genuine desire to contribute positively to your community. By practicing these principles, you can create a welcoming and harmonious neighborhood for everyone to enjoy. Answers. Answer 1. Being a good and loving neighbor means showing those living nearby kindness, respect, and support. Answer 2. Simple acts of kindness like helping, greeting them warmly, or inviting them for a friendly chat can show your care for your neighbors. Answer 3. Building good relationships with neighbors creates a sense of community, enhances safety, and promotes a positive living environment. Answer 4. Respecting your neighbor's privacy involves avoiding unnecessary intrusions, maintaining a reasonable noise level, and not prying into their matters. Answer 5. Helping your neighbors can include tasks like lending a hand with yard work, offering to pick up groceries, or assisting with pet care when needed. Answer 6. Effective communication with neighbors involves being open, honest, and respectful when discussing shared concerns, issues, or requests. Answer 7. If a dispute arises, it's essential to address it calmly and respectfully, seeking common ground by finding solutions that benefit both parties. Answer 8. Contributing to a safe community involves being vigilant, reporting suspicious activities to authorities, and participating in neighborhood watch programs if available. Answer 9. Organizing community events, initiating neighborhood gatherings, or starting a neighborhood association can foster a sense of community among neighbors. Answer 10. Being considerate means being mindful of noise levels during early mornings, late evenings, or resting hours, and avoiding disruptive activities. Answer 11. Embracing diversity involves accepting different cultures, backgrounds, and beliefs, and engaging in activities that promote inclusivity and understanding. Answer 12. If you see a neighbor in need, offer your support, whether helping with groceries, offering a ride, or connecting them with relevant resources. Answer 13. Extend a warm welcome by introducing yourself, providing information about the neighborhood and helping during their settling-in period. Answer 14. Look out for suspicious activities. Keep an eye on others' homes when away and promptly report any concerns to the authorities. Answer 15. Engage your neighbors by inviting them to participate in community projects, volunteer activities, or local events that promote shared interests. Answer 16. Listening actively, seeking to understand the other person's perspective, and finding compromises or solutions that benefit both parties are essential to peaceful conflict resolution. Answer 17. Regularly check in on your neighbors, especially those who may be elderly or vulnerable, to ensure their well-being and help if needed. Answer 18. Taking good care of your property. Answer 19. Engage in activities that promote connections, such as organizing neighborhood gatherings, starting a community garden, or hosting block parties to foster a sense of belonging. Answer 20. During emergencies or natural disasters, offer support to your neighbors by sharing information, checking their well-being, and assisting with necessary preparations or evacuation plans. Answer 21. If you notice signs of pain, such as prolonged isolation or unusual behavior, reach out to them with empathy and concern, offering a listening ear or helping them connect with appropriate resources. Answer 22. Encourage collaboration and unity by organizing neighborhood projects such as a community garden, where neighbors can work together towards a common goal. Answer 23. Building trust involves being reliable, respecting boundaries, and demonstrating integrity when interacting with neighbors. Answer 24. Promote peace by resolving conflicts amicably, advocating for open communication, and encouraging a culture of mutual respect and understanding. Answer 25. Encourage environmentally friendly practices, such as recycling, conserving water and energy, and promoting sustainable transportation options among neighbors. Answer 26. Patronize local businesses, attend community events, and support neighborhood initiatives to contribute to the local economy and foster a vibrant community. Answer 27. Attend cultural events, participate in community celebrations, and show interest in learning about different cultures and practices in the district. Answer 28. Offer assistance with grocery shopping, snow removal, or transportation, and consider their specific needs when engaging in community activities. Answer 29. Offer help with babysitting, share parenting resources, and create a safe and welcoming environment for children to play and socialize. Answer 30. Encourage active participation in neighborhood improvement projects, such as park cleanups or street beautification, to foster a collective sense of ownership and pride. Conclusion. The importance of great neighboring. It is a call to action for readers to be great neighbors. The individuals are change agents in a robust and supportive neighborhood. Being a good neighbor is not just about following rules or guidelines. It is about cultivating a positive attitude and a sense of empathy towards those around us. By respecting one another's privacy, communicating effectively, participating in community events, showing kindness and compassion, and prioritizing safety, we can create a more supportive and enjoyable living environment for everyone. Furthermore, when we take the time to build strong relationships with our neighbors, we develop a sense of community that benefits us all. So, let us commit to making our neighborhoods a better place for ourselves and future generations. Being a great neighbor requires respect, acts of kindness, communication, community involvement, and safety awareness. By striving to be good neighbors, we can create a stronger, more supportive community that benefits everyone. In today's fast-paced, often disconnected world, being a great neighbor is more important than ever. Society is not just a place to live, but a source of support, friendship, and belonging. By embracing the principles and practices of great neighboring countries, we can create more robust and resilient communities that enrich our lives in countless ways. Throughout the book, I've explored the many facets of great neighboring countries, from communication and empathy to generosity and inclusivity. I've seen how small actions like offering a kind word, sharing a meal, or lending a hand can have a ripple effect that transforms our relationships and our communities. Let us continue to build on these ideas and make them a part of our daily lives by reaching out to our neighbors even when difficult or uncomfortable. You are to listen with an open mind and a compassionate heart, celebrate our differences and recognize our humanity. If we all do our part to be great neighbors, we can create a more connected, fulfilling and joyful world for all. In conclusion, the book How to Be a Good and Caring Neighbor, Adopting Cultural Diversity for Community Cohesion is useful and friendly for anyone who is desirous of having a better community relationship with his neighbor. The book is mandatory and essential to building a strong and vibrant society, hence nation, where love, peace and justice reign supreme, no matter the skin, color, religion, sexual orientation, political inclination, social segmentation or accent of the spoken word. Throughout the book, I've explored the various ways and means, adoptable and adaptable, of becoming a better neighbor and contributing to the development and well-being of your society. From understanding your neighbors to being proactive in your community, and from resolving conflicts to contributing to the well-being of your locality, there are numerous ways in which you can make a positive impact on those around you. Therefore, it becomes imperative to reiterate the importance of being a good and caring neighbor. By creating positive relationships with those in your community, you are contributing to the health and safety of your community. Moreover, let us commit to positive actions for building more robust, God-loving and fearing neighborhoods. As a call to action, I encourage all readers to take the first step towards building positive relationships with their neighbors. Whether it's saying hello to someone new, volunteering for a local organization, or organizing a neighborhood event, there are many simple ways to become a more engaged and caring community member. By acting today, you can make a real-world difference in the lives of those around you and help create a brighter future for everyone. Congratulations!